Now to finish the week with some music. Aaron Cholai was born in Papua New Guinea and raised in Australia. In this chat at the WOMAD Music Festival, he talks about his heritage and the collaboration between a traditional choir from PNG and an improvisational jazz ensemble from Melbourne.
Hallelujah, hey. Hallelujah.
My name's Aaron Cholai. I'm a pianist and a composer. I generally work in the field of jazz and large-scale composition for festivals and commissions. I was born in Papua New Guinea. My mother is from Central Province in Papua New Guinea. My father is Australian, and I moved to Australia. It's hard to say when really, but somewhere between the age of 8 and 14, we were coming a lot to Melbourne and stuff. But definitely by the time I started high school, I was living in Melbourne, Australia. Now I live in Tokyo, Japan, and before that I lived in New York for a few years, playing jazz with some of my heroes that I listened to on record when I was learning how to play the piano. What we've been doing at this festival is a project called We Don't Dance for No Reason, and it's a collaboration between a choir from the Tatana village in Central Province, which is where I'm originally from, and a jazz band from Melbourne called Vada, which is a group that I formed when I was 18 or 19, when I was going to the Victorian College of the Arts in Melbourne. And the music is based on Peraveda Anadia, the prophet songs of the Motuan people, and we've been trying to combine these songs with improvisation and to create something new. The piece incorporates a lot of different styles of music as well as Peraveda, some New Orleans dirge marches, some African 9/8 type feels, and some free improvisation. And it's been an incredible journey so far, and something that we'll be continuing to do for a long time. Originally this piece came about as a commission from the Queensland Music Festival in 2005, which we performed there in 2006. And since then we've toured Australia and gone back to PNG and done some concerts in Port Moresby and maintaining a relationship with the community there and rehearsing a lot and writing new music. So it's something that is evolving a lot. You know. To be honest, this project wasn't really that difficult for me to conceive because having grown up in Port Moresby and fluent in Motu and Pidgin, Peraveda, the prophet songs, is something that I'm very familiar with. And once I moved to Australia and learned how to play jazz, which became something very familiar too, it only seemed very natural to put these two things together. So people ask me all the time, was it difficult to write? And the truth is that it actually wasn't. I just made the decision to be as honest as I could be with the writing and not to try and make it something that I'd preconceived or try to force it to be something. So once I did that, it was very easy for me to communicate to the musicians and to the singers what I wanted it to be, and easy for them to understand because it relates to their specific strengths. The prophet singers know how to sing the prophet songs and the jazz band know how to improvise. So, you know, it took a little bit of time to get them to be comfortable with each other, but once they were, it worked really well. And you know, they were saying the other day, the singers were saying the other day, it's hard for them to imagine this music now without instruments like trumpets and saxophones and the rhythms like of jazz music. one of my main motivations for doing something like this too is, I found myself very frustrated every time I would see Papua New Guinea or anywhere in the Pacific really portrayed on television or in the media. I would always see people running through the jungle with like grass skirts on and spears, hunting fish and pigs and things like that, and which is true. I mean, we all know that people live like that still, and it's a very beautiful thing. But it was unbalanced, and I wanted to portray a side of Pacific culture, and particularly Papua New Guinea, that was contemporary and about moving forward, and that didn't rely on the exotic in order for people to be interested. So in this project, we haven't done things like put traditional clothes on people or made them dance and do these exotic type things. It's really about the music and the music only. So I'm very proud of it for that reason.
That was great, and that's all we have for this week. Don't forget there's plenty of information on our website about all these stories and much more. And please join us again next week for more. I'll see you then.